Hello! I've been shooting two videos about language learning in English, and I'm going to do that also in Italian. My point of view is not that the one of a hyperachiever, hyper polyglot. That's it's great. Well, most people don't have the same. So I'm not speaking to those people who want to learn 5, 7, 6 languages. Actually, when it comes to speaking fluently, I just speak Italian, English, and Greek. I'm more in Greek. Well, in Greek in a lesser degree, but I speak very fluently, but not as the two other languages. One thing I noticed, and I've been dealing with a lot of language students, many, is that people who can detect pattern can take advantage of whatever exposition they have to the language. It's like proofreading. You see what is written. Oh, this is wrong. This is wrong. And you need to be attentive. You need to be focused, proactive, active. So when we say listening is a passive thing, activity, it's not true 100%. It depends on how we listen to the language. Sure, we're not every time focused. Sometimes we do other things and we listen to the language, and that is important. We are exposed to the language, so we focus, we fix the language we already know through repetition. Obviously the level of what we hear, I say here because in this case it's a more casual thing, should be adequate and should be not so difficult that we don't take advantage of the listening. Can be very easy or a little bit challenging. But there are situations where I have a pen and an exercise book and I write things. It depends on me. Sometimes I write even things that I already know, that I want to fix, that I want to use, actively use, and things like that. But sometimes, oh, why did he use that? Assuming that what we are listening to is something we can trust. Why does he use that form, that verb, that grammar thing? And I write it down, and then you can have your research on the internet, write sentences with that structure and see what's coming up. So the idea is being curious, being proactive, being able to detect things that sound unfamiliar to us. And that is one of the keys to language acquisition, being exposed to a fair amount of language input and being able to make the most of it. That is a very important thing. Many people want to learn a language, and I harp on the same concept, but people say in Latin, repetita iunt. Repeated things help. We cannot really master any subject we want in life just because we've been told to. It would be a very, very poor choose of our time and our precious time trying to do something that we don't like to do. And that happened to me also with musical instruments. You will end up playing the instruments that you like the most. You cannot. That's why sometimes, unluckily, I move from one instrument to the other instrument. For some reason, I lose interest in some instruments. I love other instruments, and that can happen with languages. I strongly recommend, once you obtain a certain level, at least to keep that level, even if you are more into another language. That's why I still watch things in Greek, and sometimes I have a Greek language exchange. But I'm learning Turkish. That doesn't mean I need to forget Greek. Obviously, if I had a huge interest in the Greek language, I wouldn't learn Turkish, and I would have improved a lot on the Greek that I already know. But not everyone is this will to perfectly master a language, okay? But speaking a language quite fluently and being able to understand 95% of average of what you listen to, it's a good result that we should be proud of. So learning foreign languages or new languages is one activity rather than one endeavor. We should say to ourselves, okay, from this moment on, every day I have to devote some time to this language. I have to make time, and for all these kinds of activities that lead to absorbing the language. I should get information on what are the. I usually start from a very good textbook. I'm using Asimil for Turkish. I also have other books, but Asimil is my reference book, and I have my recordings. So I know, okay, if I completely master the book from cover to cover, that's a good starting point. From that moment on, I can start and absorb the language through listening to some videos, some audios that are for the most part easy. So I will try to find something adequate for my level. Goodbye.